Hello and welcome to anybody who's up at this time in the hour or this time in the morning in Europe or this time at night in Australia and elsewhere or the middle of the night, I guess, in the USA. We are here playing Thomas's new version or sort of, should we say, extension to Vaesen?
Extension, definitely an extension.
And if you saw us on the channel a few weeks ago, you saw us creating characters that we're going to play. But Thomas, I'm going to hand over to you now.
Nice. So we are going to be playing a short adventure set in Meiji, Japan, but with a Vaesen overlay. It's funny, we were talking about this just a little while ago, weren't we, really? Set in explicitly 1873. I apologise. I've made a whole thing about not keeping timelines, and then I've based it literally on a specific year, so that's awesome.
I haven't heard that whole discussion about having timelines.
Yeah, timelines. Who needs them?
I was right all along, it turns out.
That's right.
As always.
Now, for our listeners, this is an argument that they're going to hear in a week's time. So
when they listen to the podcast, that's right. So tonight we will be playing a session, or probably two, realistically, because I don't think we'll get it done in 2 hours. You're all members of a very ancient order within Japanese society, a hidden order called Daisan No Me. It's got a much longer name, which even I can't remember how to pronounce. Actually, Frank could probably have a reasonably decent shot at it. But anyway, it's the linguist in you, Frank. And the Daisan No Me literally just means people of the third eye in its most simplistic form. So all of you have had an experience that's opened up your third eye, which is the eye that sits right here. It's called the tanden in Japanese. So it's that spiritual place in the center of you, just above your forehead, that gives you vision deeper into the spiritual world than others. We did roll up your characters last time, so it'd probably be good to kick off by everyone sort of running around, starting with Tomita Ryu, and then going to Ishikawa, Taro, Aki, Kiyomi, Kawaguchi, Toshiro, and then Aza Moshimiku. And you can tell that as the person who wrote the Japanese hack, I'm awesome at pronunciation. So we'll start with Tomita. So Tomita Ryu, or should we say Ryu? What is your background, Ryu?
Well, I was quite wealthy middle class back before the Great Change, and I've fallen on hard times. My father was struggling. I say quite wealthy. I wasn't at all wealthy. I've never been wealthy, but my father was a gun smith in the times before, producing home-produced weapons, shall we say, not imported stuff, but based, I guess, on Portuguese designs.
Yeah, from the 1600s.
And things sort of fell apart with the Great Change. And since then, I am now kaitsu, which is a spy or sort of undercover policeman. And I live with my wife, who I married quite early. I am unfaithful to her, and that is my dark secret.
Nice. And what
Don't tell anybody?
And what was your supernatural experience that opened up?
Yes. So
your eye?
I actually caught a tanuki, a raccoon shapeshifter, in a theatre. I spend quite a lot of time in theatres. It's my thing. So I am trying to understand Aki Kiyomi better.
Nice. Okay, Ishikawa Taro, or Taro Ishikawa.
Yes, Taro is an Imperial Army officer with a very, very poor background, even outcast, you might say. But the Meiji Restoration has made it possible for him to get an education, get military training, and he's risen in the ranks as an officer.
And what was your supernatural experience?
Yeah, I saw a Shikigami collect the souls of my men on the battlefield. And that has made me afraid of battle, actually.
Yep.
As my dark secret.
Okay.
Well, and I guess maybe even darker secret is that I'm an untouchable.
That's really dark.
That's right. You are the lowest of the low
Uh,
in Japanese society, but no one knows, right?
yeah.
Yep. Except for all these. But anyway,
You can just smell it on them, can't you? You can just smell it, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Aki Kiyomi.
Yeah, so Aki Kiyomi is sort of the daughter of a deep, wealthy farming family back in the days. She grew up on the farm, did a lot of work there. They had a decent life until the Meiji Revolution, when their family lost the farm and basically lost their wealth. She fled to the city wherever this takes place and has struggled for a few years before she found, made a living working in a theater. She now works in the musical theater and is an entertainer.
And were your family were you horse farmers, like
merchants.
horse breeders?
Yes, that
you
does
were.
make sense.
That's right. And what was your supernatural experience, Kiyomi?
Yeah, when I was new in the theater, I was kidnapped by a spirit court and forced to perform for them.
That's right. Yep.
That's spirit court.
Yep.
And yeah,
And what's your dark secret?
well, I have a somewhat longing to go back to the spirit court and join them.
Right. So you want to sell your soul to the, well, not your soul, your spirit, to the spirits.
Yeah.
Okay. Kawaguchi Toshiro.
Right. Toshiro grew up in a quite well-off Boshi household. His father was police, or doshin, basically, and that was all going really well until that big change, the Meiji Revolution. That really impoverished them. They're trying to cling to the status, but it didn't really work. However, Toshiro sought the training of a doctor, a traditional medicine doctor, and he's still trying to hang on to it. But all this newfangled Western medicine is coming in, and he finds it quite difficult to make it all work. And that has tipped him into deep depression. So he's got a bit of an addiction as well to his own medicines, as he would. And what else can I tell you? He is quite very, very young, and he wants to really learn that which was lost. So he basically wants to find out whether you can reverse things so that they go back to the way they were through the spiritual knowledge. His trauma was that he is haunted by an Onryo, a vengeful spirit. And his dark secret is that he's involved in some illicit affairs, probably something to do with his addiction.
Okay, perfect. And then finally, certainly not last. Sorry, I flicked around. Moshimuku.
Hi, yes. So Asa Moshimuku is the son of a merchant, formerly an arms dealer, arms trader, who became quite wealthy and successful as a result of that. He didn't want to go into that line, so he became an academic with aspirations, which still exist, to become a politician, and change the world for the better for everybody. He spent some time doing some influential work. He received funding and went on foreign research trips. So he's now an advocate of Dutch learning, as it's called. His trauma, his introduction to the world of the spirits is that I'm visited by a ghost in my sleep, a Yuri, and
Yuri, Yuri.
And that ghost, I suspect it's kind of whispering bad things into my ear about how how dishonorable my family is and how I've come from dishonor. Also, added to that, I have a secret, which is I happen to be addicted to Chinese opium. A little trick that I picked up on my travels.
Cool.
Do we have laws against that?
Fuck off.
There are laws against. There would be, and I'd have to go back and actually read, but there would be laws against people importing opium into Japan because it was used by the Europeans to corrupt and conquer China, right? So they're not big fans of opium generally. However, this is the Elizabethan. I was thinking about that earlier today. This is the Victorian period, so laws explicitly against drugs are actually quite rare.
Damn it. Okay.
And I'd also like to point out it's a secret. It's called a dark secret for a reason, Matthew.
That's okay. No, I was just thinking I might uncover your dark secret at some time.
Not that your name is Matthew Metagame Tyler Jones, is it now?
Okay, so we're going to assume you've all at one point or another sort of met each other through your engagement with this organization called the Daisan No Me. Now, the last surviving member of the the Daisan No Me have been around for about 1,000 years.
Whoa.
So in one incarnation or another. The most important thing to know about them is they've had 3 sort of fundamental leading lights through their history. The first was a daughter who is not talked about, but was actually the legitimate daughter of the Lord Genji and the Lady Ōi. So it's about 1,000 years ago. And she was the first person to really start to collect and bring together an understanding of the spirit world. The second great scholar was a guy called Sekien. And he was primarily responsible for the first major documentation of yokai in particular in the late to mid 1700s. And then the last major member of the Daisan, the last leader who left, by the way, who abandoned the order in disgust. And we're going to nick probably the most famous Japanese artist, and I might get in trouble for doing that, but there it is Hokusai. And Hokusai is most famous, of course, for the wave, which is important. And the Daisan No Me sort of ran down through the Tokugawa period. So the short history is you became part of the bureaucracy, albeit a hidden one, and you kind of lost your purpose. So lots of people without the sight joined the order because it was politically advantageous to belong to the order. Eventually that dissolved the order's authority, and you had a whole stack of people just sort of taking the stipend that you were being paid by the shogunate to protect the people, but they weren't actually capable of doing anything. And Hokusai basically closed the doors on the order in the early 1800s prior to the fall of the Tokugawa. Now, his daughter, a woman called Katsushika Ōi, is the last survivor of the last incarnation of the Daisan No Me. She's actually an artist. She's quite famous in the period. She's almost as good as her dad, probably. And she's a real historical figure, by the way. She was particularly known for doing pictures of women and also, sort of prints of Tokyo. Now, she has had a dream and she has sent you a message summoning you to the castle at Nagoya, which is your center of operations, or Himatsu Castle. Now, can I share at this point? Is that all right?
I'm sure you can. Just share what you want and I'll put it up on the screen.
Let me see what happens if I do this. I can show an application window. Perfect.
You can.
So you should be able to see, and I'll just put this in presentation mode, and that should work. Does that work? Are you still able to see? Yeah. Okay, nice. Unfortunately, I can't see anything, so I'll just trust that you. Well, I can see it. I can't see you. So that is a real picture of the castle from 1895. So that's what it looks like.
You can come back. Oh, you're in presentation mode, of course. Yes.
Yes, I'm in presentation mode. It's okay. We'll be fine. So this is the castle your order operates out of, and the lady, Lady Ōi, works from. So, yeah, so you're basically summoned to the castle, and the way you get to the castle, you might be spread across any number of towns along the Tokaido, which is the big sort of commercial road that's existed throughout the entire Tokugawa period. It goes basically from Osaka and beyond all the way to Tokyo, and it's now got a railway on it. So you can catch the railway, and the railway then goes up into Nagoya, which is slightly off the Tokaido. So that's how you're getting around. So you get this message, and it's very formal, and it's, written out, and it basically says, it is the 5th year of the Meiji period, and cholera is spreading through our land. I summon you as members of the Daisan No Me to put a stop to this outbreak. I have read that the Lord Okubu Toshimichi, who is the chief minister of the emperor, has written a book basically describing the ways to stop cholera from spreading. And despite his words, which are, built in this modern science around, not when you get sick, staying in your homes and, cleaning your toilets and maintaining your plumbing, that will not stop the spread of this disease. I have seen the creature, and it is carrying the disease across the island, and I do not know how it is doing it, but you must find it and stop it before it, infects us all with this terrible, terrible disease. So that's the message you get, and you all find yourselves arriving in the train station at approximately the same time, because there's really only one train. Mm-hmm. So it picks you all up and kind of takes you there. Mm-hmm. You're in a couple of carriages. Over to you. What do you do?
What's the class system on this train?
So there's definitely first, middle, last, and people who sit on top of the train as classes. So yeah, there is a first class and a sort of worker class kind of carriages available. There's at the back of the train, there's the usual sort of baggage carrying carriage. That was unhelpful, wasn't it? Yeah. I'll just see if I've got a picture. There you go.
Very nice. How long are we staying? So will we have luggage? That's really what I'm asking.
Well, you've got luggage because the train takes, a full day to get you here. Oh. If you're traveling from, say, Tokyo, it's not fast. And the message suggests you won't be staying here, but you will be gathering here.
Well, I will have brought some luggage with me. I think, as befits my projected class, I will climb down off the roof of the carriage and bundle up my clothes and my 3-string thing. I can't think of what it's called. Got out of my head entirely. Which I've been playing with trainers we've gone past. My little 3-string guitar. Shamisen?
Shamisen. Yeah.
Shamisen. Yeah. And I will merge into the background on the platform and just watch other people. I'm always intrigued about who the good lady of the castle calls to work here, and I like to see them before they see me.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I can flip around. Are you
Are
guys
we-
still seeing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, good. I've just
Oh.
gone to another window so I can see you. Cool.
Are we expecting to be met here then by the author of the letter? Or are we supposed to
the
go?
castle?
Oh, are we going to the
No,
castle?
you're expected to go. You're expected to go to the castle.
Right. Okay. And do we know that others have been invited? Do we know each other from before?
You are aware of each other.
Yeah.
You haven't necessarily spent a lot of time together. This is your first experience, like sort of being brought together. You might have she summoned you individually before, so you're aware there are other members. That's probably the best way to put it.
I guess the question is, would I recognize the others when I see them on the train?
Probably not, actually. No,
No, okay.
actually, no, probably not.
So we can't see the third eye on each other.
Good.
No.
Well,
Okay. I'm
Taro
gonna Sorry, go on, Nicholas.
Yeah. Well, Taro gets off his nice part of the train and just stands around waiting for people to come up to him because, yeah, he's important.
Yeah.
And he
Of
expects
course.
others too.
Might be a long wait.
Oh, somebody will
Yeah.
come up to you. Don't worry.
You can probably see Kiyomi dragging off a way too big piece of luggage off the train, carrying off to the side of the road, waiting for some sort of meetup.
And as Toshiro just climbs out of the cheapest indoor class, steps off, dusts himself off a little bit from the coal dust, and clutches his big doctor's bag, which has got everything he needs in it, not just the doctor's stuff, but also changes of clothes and stuff. He carries everything he owns, basically.
And one important question, does Toshi dress in a traditional Japanese doctor's style, or does he wear Western style clothing?
No, he will be in traditional style.
Okay. So just so you're aware, one of the things that denotes your position in a traditional sense as a doctor is you carry the handle of a sword. So you have one handle, no blade, and you're allowed to carry that around. And that's actually that's officially what recognizes you as a doctor. So you've got this empty scabbard with this handle in it with no blade.
Very useful as a stick.
Yep, that's right. Okay. And the rest of you all get out of the train at this point, I assume.
Yeah, I'll pack up the books that I've been reading and studying, and my notebook that I've been making comments in. How far is the castle from here? And do I need to engage transport to get there, or is it walking distance? Or
you could walk. It's a bit of a walk. However, as you depart the train, you note a couple of rickshaws, a new invention recently developed in Tokyo by a couple of very bright Japanese engineers, is pulling up. So it's a very proud moment for you, particularly as an advocate for Japanese learning and Japanese science. So the rickshaws were actually invented by a pair of Japanese engineers when they were struggling with how to improve transport around the island without access to steam, and obviously not wanting to put lots of horses into the city. So yeah, so these guys, so a couple of rickshaw drivers sort of pull up, as it were, at the front of the train station.
yeah, I'm going to go up to one of them and engage his services to take me to the castle.
Now, I'm assuming there are possibly people here looking to earn a few coins carrying people's luggage. I've also noticed that that Aki Kiyomi has a large amount of luggage. So portraying myself as simply one of these itinerant part-time porters, as it were, I will go and offer to carry her luggage.
It's sure, sir. You can. Here you go, and I offload my sort of comically large luggage onto Ryu.
And
and my smaller handbag as well.
Thank you. And have you? Where are you staying? Knowing perfectly well who she is, but I'm just enjoying the subterfuge.
I'm going to the local castle where Katsushika Ōi is living. I'm specially invited there.
That's a long walk for a lady of your quality.
I'm tell you, I'm pretty good at walking long distances.
That is.
I
good,
can do
but-
it, especially if you're carrying my luggage. It's no problem, actually.
Oh, then we shall walk together.
Yeah, I think we should. So
I couldn't help overhearing you, my lady. You should not walk. We shall take a carriage.
A carriage? Well, do you have a carriage, sir?
No, we can arrange some. He looks around. So.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, that sounds lovely.
How big are these rickshaws? How many people can you take in one?
They're two people across,
Right.
and they can take a bit of luggage in the back. It's possible that Kiyomi's luggage might dwarf the normal luggage capacity of the rickshaw, leading to a very classic scene where Ryu runs behind the rickshaw holding the things up while they're balanced precariously on the back of the carriage. But
Sure, he will gladly do that.
So as I see these people gathering, I should say there's a spare seat in my rickshaw if anyone would like to join me for the journey into town.
Oh yes, sir. Certainly.
I missed out on that one, didn't I? I walk. It's fine.
You had your chance, Frank.
Yeah, too slow.
Well, I think it'll be Matthew because he's carrying all that luggage. So yeah.
So I expect then I'll take the luggage and load it onto the back of the rickshaw, and then I will stand ready to run after the rickshaw with a hand on the luggage, making sure it's
indeed, it's perfectly balanced, but just in case.
Seeing him do that, I'll be there just nudging the luggage to try and make it fall off on him. Not really. We actually
exchange greeting with the rickshaw driver because we are of a similar sort of class, and we make those eye signals to each other that we both get our fair share of the payment for this.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. Well, by all means. Exactly. Yes. So he will make sure that you're going to get your fair share of the payment. So can I just get a quick indication who is taking a rickshaw and who is actually physically walking up the hill?
I'll be walking.
I'm rickshawing.
Rickshaw.
I'm running after rickshaw.
Too.
All right. So, Toshiro, you're just going to walk up the hill, basically. And Ryu, you're running behind a rickshaw. The rickshaw driver is pulling the rickshaw up. Taro, you've got a rickshaw to yourself, of course.
Yeah.
And how I assume you're dressed in full military uniform as an officer of the Imperial Army. Very nice. You've got a little peaked cap. You've got your saber, looking the part. The carriages are pulled up and quickly pull ahead of the people who are just walking. One moment, people.
I will say, while we're pausing, that all the best Vaesen adventures start with getting off a train and walking up a hill.
It is true. I agree.
Not that you're biased either.
Okay, so as you come up the hill, you can see the castle in front of you. And actually, I'll just go back to the picture of the castle. So that's oh, there it is. So the castle is there. It had a moat around it. That moat is pretty empty now. The castle itself is in pretty poor shape. It's not been well maintained. It used to be the premier residence of a sort of side shoot of the Tokugawa clan. So members of the broader Tokugawa family, but not core to the shogunate. They've lost, obviously, all their authority through the Meiji Restoration and basically abandoned the castle as part of that process. The province that you're in, Nagoya, is not governed by the ex-daimyo. It's governed directly by an imperial governor. So it's not one of the we chose the right side of the fight families, let's put it that way. So the castle itself is quite empty. However, it does have large, conifer-like trees behind the sort of the wall. And as you come up over the hill, particularly for those of you who are on the rickshaws, you'll see this. You see the trees, and they are huge. They're at least 30 meters high. They're very large. They actually top and come over the top of the walls. As you pull up and into through the gates into the castle proper, I'm not sure if I really need you to roll dice, but we haven't rolled dice yet, and that might be a problem at some point. And I was playing Coriolis today, so I can't remember even what the skills are anymore. Oh, that's right, it's vigilance. Yeah. So can I get? Oh no, it's observation. No, it's vigilance. It is vigilance. That's right. Sorry, it's
all the various different observation skills in Vaesen.
Yeah, well, because they moved because observation in this game is about observing people, whereas in Coriolis it's about observing events. Yeah, so it gets mixed up. So can I get the people who are in the rickshaws to make vigilance rolls, please?
It would be 3 dice, I think.
I have 6, and I get no successes.
Neither do I.
I get 1 success. Taro gets 1 success.
Do I roll? I'm not in a rickshaw, but I am.
But you are with them, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because I get a bonus of +2 for my vigilance.
Right.
Particularly if I'm not being directly involved in the scene. Where am I? So what do I roll?
It's logic. Logic and vigilance plus your
That's your bonus.
Your bonus, yeah.
I spot nothing.
Okay, so Taro, you're the only one who got a success, right? Okay.
Yep.
So as you come into the castle and you're looking up at the branches because they're pretty, and you got to look at something while you're entering the castle. It's only so interesting. You see a woman, quite a young woman, sitting on one of the branches, in a traditional kimono. She has very bright red hair, which is unheard of for Japanese people. So she looks Japanese, but she has vivid red hair, pulled back behind her head. She's wearing a very traditional kimono. And as you glance up at her and see her, she starts. Like, she can tell you're looking at her. And for a second, she looks quite shocked. And then she smiles at you, and you see little pointed teeth inside her mouth. And then, like that, she disappears from your view, disappearing behind one of the trunks of the trees.
Megitsune.
It could have been a kitsune. I don't want to give too much away. You're obviously well read, Taro. You're obviously well read. Yeah, so that's what you see. No one else saw her, so they.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but you. No, by all means.
It was high up on a branch, high up in the tree, or it doesn't matter. At a very strange place.
No, not massively high up.
Yeah. But still.
It's only a couple of meters above the ground.
Mhm.
But she did move very fast when she disappeared from view. And the last thing you saw was just the little flick of her hair as she disappeared around the branch, around the trunk of the tree. Okay, so and then so you all pull up. Ryu is now puffing because he's had to run up the hill behind the rickshaw drivers. Just out of interest, what is your physique, Ryu?
Sorry, I'm still trying to find my stats. Where have I done with them? Where are they? Where have they gone? 4.
Oh, okay. Well, you're quite fit then. So
Yeah.
it hasn't particularly pushed you. So you've run up the hill. There's an older woman waiting for you, sort of at the entryway. She's unattended, she's basically by herself. She's wearing, once again, very traditional Japanese garb. She's not dressed in any way in a modern sense. She's probably in her 60s, which makes her quite old, obviously. And she's waiting at the entrance for you as you arrive.
I look to the rickshaw driver to take the money required for the passengers as I'm unloading everybody's luggage.
Right. Oh, yes. Okay. Yep. Is everyone sort of tossing a couple of coins in the general direction of the rickshaw drivers? I assume you are.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Should be generous with my excessive wealth that I have.
Yeah. Just in case it comes up later, because it inevitably will, I have written rules for using wealth to bribe people.
Excellent.
In case that ever becomes relevant during the
Is that
game.
like hint? Is that, Thomas? Okay.
No, it's just a statement of fact.
Fair enough.
Just a statement of fact. It serves no other purpose.
Funnily enough, actually, that once the money has been done, although I'm tempted for taking any of the coins that Azza.
So, do you actually know my background to have all this like animosity before we even started?
Yeah, I think my family knew your family. You were bankrupting us beforehand with your imported guns. Frankly,
maybe, yeah. That's
I
probably
think
fair.
we may have grown up together to a degree.
Well, certainly you're aware of the Asa family, right? So the Asa family, who obviously did very well out of the arms trade through the war.
I'm gonna pointedly give Ryu a big tip.
Well,
right.
Okay. No, so my deal was with the rickshaw driver that he'd take the money and I'd give it. But when people aren't looking, I say no. You keep it all. Maybe you owe me a favor sometime.
Oh, okay.
Because I need to have a little network of contacts.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I see. Yes, of course. Yes. All right. Yeah. And rickshaw drivers, they're connected.
So you're employing the Don Corleone approach to making friends, are you?
I'm that sort of policeman. Yes.
Corrupt. Is that what you mean? Okay, excellent.
No.
All right. So about this point, Toshiro, you finally arrive at the top of the hill, dragging your case of materials with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of people. They're all milling around, getting out of rickshaws. You're thinking maybe you should have taken a rickshaw.
Cost money.
Cost money.
Nothing wrong
cost money.
with taking constitutional after all that time on a rickety train.
That's true. It's very healthy. It's very bouncy on the train. It's not at all comfortable. You can see the Lady Oi, who most of you have met. I should have actually made that point. So you've mostly met her. So it's the Lady Oi. She is at the entrance and she's waiting for you. Sort of a little impatiently because all this luggage is getting unstacked and some people have, giant amounts of it and some people don't.
Just walk past all these people juggling luggage and just approach her and greet her in a traditional and formal manner.
It's not like we're all going on holiday, is it now, really?
That's right. remember many years ago, a friend of mine and I came up with the idea of building a game based around a movie called The Ale and Quail Gun Club, which was very 1930s. And I'm feeling like that's coming here. So so she greets you. All right. So you come up. Toshiro, you're the first to greet her. She bows to you very respectfully, slightly less deep than you because she's high status. And greetings. It is good that you were able to make the journey on these new contraptions. How was the travel? Was it comfortable?
I would not say it was comfortable.
Yes, it was very.
It was effective.
Yes, we've given up so much just to be able to go faster. They're terrible, smelly things, and even as she says terrible, smelly things, right? You're hit by the wave of the smell of the city, like it's almost orchestrating her words. So you're hit by that smell. Like there's a lot of people now in Nagoya, even in comparison to what it used to be. You're also hit by the smell of the silk factories that are working on the edge of the city and producing the silk that Japan is desperately exporting to make coin. You can hear all the people. You can hear the groans coming out from all the shanties that have sort of been stood up around the edges of the city. And of course, you can smell the sort of acrid steam and coal smoke that's starting to permeate the air even as you stand in this beautiful sort of quiet space, almost as if to make the point. It is good that you have come. We do not have much time. My dream was horrific. I saw this creature that I have never seen before, and I'm very concerned that we need to stop it. But I've never seen such a creature in the past, so it is new to me, and I am hoping that you, with your knowledge of both what was and what will be, can help us understand what it could be.
Well, we
What
shall
was the
endeavor
nature
to
of
do
the
so.
creature?
It was a terrifying creature. Perhaps we should all gather together in the library. And she sort of starts to shuffle into the building. I can tell you in the library, and we will have access to the books. And she sort of slowly paces into the castle. I assume you all follow at various levels of completeness.
Well, when I hear the phrase "access to the books," that's music to my ears, and so I'm going to be right with her. I want to get to the library and start looking through what tomes they've got.
Right. Okay, so you're sort of taking through the castle. Like I said, the castle's in poor shape. It's not falling down around your ears, but I could certainly use a lick of paint and a little bit of repair. You come into the library, or what is the library, and you can see, there's just bookshelves full of scrolls and these folded paper books. So they have these sort of paper books that concertina out into these long sort of panels. So they're like one complete tract, and then you pull the two covers open and they open up that way. There's a couple of very long tables explicitly to sort of lay out those scrolls and those books so that people can sort of lay out the full length of the tome and then go through the pictures and the writing. However, when you get in there, you can also smell like mold and mildew in the space. So the library itself has not been well maintained. And Moshimuku, you probably, as a bit of a bibliophile, more than horrified and terrified, possibly even, as you walk into this library full of 1,000 years worth of history, and you can smell mildew and mold in the air, which suggests to you straight away that at least some, if not many, of these books are damaged, possibly in a way that cannot be readily repaired.
I'm going to say to Oi, this library is in desperate need of professional attention. When this quest is over, I would like your permission to appoint myself at least a temporary librarian of this place and bring it back to the state it should be.
Oh, it is so true. Everything has fallen down. I am the last one, as you know, and I am an old lady. I do not have anyway. And of course, with the fall of the shogun, we lost the stipend. So basically, we have no way to maintain any. I cannot pay anyone. I
will do it for free. I do not need payments. I'm well blessed with wealth and resources. I can do this for free. It will be my honor.
Oh, she bows to you even more deeply than she would normally, out of complete respect. She obviously loves books. That's what she's been doing for 40 plus years, is making them herself. Now, I have drawn a picture of this creature, this thing that I saw in my dream. So perhaps, if I may, I will I'll show it to you. Yep, there it is. Just tell me if that's... Is that popping up? No.
It's not coming up yet because I haven't...
Sorry. Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Wait,
now...
What is that you draw? Is that...
This creature...
So this place is just full of dirty parchments, is that what you're saying?
It's really... Yeah. Yes.
Do you often dream of this?
Can I withdraw my offer? I'm not here to fix the Japanese version of Playboy.
Yeah. Well,
so the creature is male, then?
Is it?
This I've deduced.
Do we need a learning role?
Could be. It's not an unreasonable assumption to make. It could be male. Now, can I get...
Well, that one, they won't be hard to pick out in a lineup, will they?
No. Well, it could be a Tanuki, who are shapeshifters, after all. So it has the front half of a tiger, the back legs and rear end of a wolf, and this is not safe for children. We didn't say it would be. So the ball sack of a Tanuki, which of course is very, very good for medicine. By the way, just to make that point.
Indeed,
Toshiro. Yep, you can do a lot with a Tanuki ball sack. It'll cure a lot of things. That's right. Just need to hold on.
That sounds like a nick. It sounds like a nickname, doesn't it? Tanuki ballsack.
It does.
It's like on a right. Ball sack.
There's a problem. Look, there's no. You can't look past the ball sack when you're talking about Tanuki. That's all I'm saying. So you all see this picture, and obviously she's painted it just as you can see it. So it's quite striking. However, can I get a investigation roll from Toshiro?
You can try investigation.
And from Mushimuki.
Can I have that as a learning role instead?
Actually, learning. Yes, learning would be fine. Yes, if you want to use learning instead of investigation, that's fine.
I'm a lot better at learning than I am at this. I'm good at both, but yeah, learning is my specialty.
I've got one success.
Yeah, I've got 2 successes.
Okay. You both think you've seen this picture before.
This picture, this very picture.
Yeah, on the thumbnail to this video.
Yeah. You've seen this picture before recently.
Where would that be? Where did we see
Where?
this?
So Toshiro, you can't actually remember. You just have a memory of, like, you go, I am absolutely certain I've seen this picture before somewhere. However, Mushimuki, you're connected to the government, right? Like you run with the government crowd. You're a bit of an advocate for the current agenda. This picture you saw recently in like a pamphlet warning people against the dangers of cholera.
Was it exactly the same image, or was it just a picture of a?
It's very similar. It's not exactly the same,
Right.
but it's very, very, very similar. So tiger front half, wolf back half, tanukis, gentlemanly bits, third part.
And what context was it played? Was it being kind of the image of the evil of cholera?
So it was in the context of a medical cure for cholera that was being pushed by certain members of the government.
And claiming that the medical cure was obtained from the accoutrements of this creature.
No, you would think that, but no. It was plum vinegar wine.
Is that the blue bottle in the picture?
That's right. There's actually the blue bottle in the picture. No, it's a pink bottle actually. It's a pink bottle or red, depending on how faded the picture was. But yes, drink plum vinegar wine to be safe from the rokoki. The korori.
So was this pamphlet being pushed by someone in government who's got a very large plum vinegar wine interest?
That's possibly the relationship one could draw between the plum vinegar cure and the thing. You probably don't know the people who are pushing it well enough to know the answer to that question directly, but it's not an unreasonable suspicion to hold.
Toshiro, are there any medical benefits from plum vinegar wine that you're aware of?
Well, sometimes it can help with upset stomachs.
But doesn't cure cholera.
I have not found something that cures that dreadful disease yet. By the way, chip in if I know more than that.
No, you're pretty much spot on. All good. As far as you're aware, the traditional cures for cholera, which there are none, by the way, does not in any way extend to include plum vinegar wine.
No.
Cleanliness.
The lady of the castle.
Lady Ōi.
I feel I can speak plainly to Lady Ōi because of my low status, so I can say sort of things other people might not be might be too respectful to say. But I'll say, my lady, and I bow deeply as any grovelling status one person should. I say, are you sure you have not seen one of these pamphlets of which the doctor and the merchant
academic
speak?
Thank you, academic.
From a merchant family.
I am an academic and a well-renowned successful academic. Thank you very much.
Yes. Are you convinced you have not you've seen and drawn this independently and not remembered it from this pamphlet of which the doctor and the merchant speak?
She looks a little concerned by the question. By the way, she wasn't particularly high status prior because she was an artisan. So
yeah,
artisans
I'm well low status.
Yes, that's true. Fair point.
So just before we get to that, is Matthew's disrespectful behaviour appropriate in the kind of the formal environment that we're in, or should I be dressing him down for addressing somebody of a higher status in such a disrespectful way?
Accusing her of plagiarism.
Okay, so the answer to that question is I have said explicitly that players have to decide how they want status to work between players. Because that's my get out of jail card. And every GM's get out of jail card. It's a tool. But look, traditionally, no. I mean, traditionally, obviously, lower caste people don't go dissing higher caste people in the earshot of said higher caste people. That up until reasonably recently resulted in your head being separated from the rest of your body. So there's a reasonable cultural, push against that type of behavior.
Up until reasonably recently.
Up until reasonably recently. It's now officially illegal to execute people in the street with swords, and has been for at least 5 years, possibly slightly longer.
There are some things about the March of Time, about the March of Progress, that I'm not a fan of, and that's obviously one of them right now.
One that you really regretted. So she answers the question, first of all, hesitantly, and then with more confidence as she sort of thinks about it. So it's no. This came to me in a dream. I am certain, the spirits would not mislead me in such a way. Yes, no. There is no way. They are.
I'd like to just observe her answer to that one and make sure that she's not lying.
Sure, by
with
all
my
means.
observation skills, which are not great because I am not the most empathic person.
Right.
So I only have empathy of 2 and observation of 1, so that's 3 dice in total.
Sure.
But I do get a success.
As far as you can tell, she is telling you the truth. Well, she believes she's telling you the truth.
Very well, then I shall accept that with good grace.
So, yes. Now, so one thing that you are all aware of, and it's probably important to mention this in case I hadn't already, which I don't think I had, is that there is definitely a cholera epidemic breaking out in Japan right now. So that's not a made-up thing. So people are getting sick from cholera, and it is spreading through the country. There was an outbreak in the early 1860s that was quite deadly. This is a second, newer outbreak that is now spreading through the cities, particularly on Honshu, so particularly on the main island, and from spreading, and maybe actually, just thinking, might be a medicine roll, actually. Yeah, why not? Why not? Toshiro, do you want to make a medicine roll?
Sure.
Other people can make a sort of learning roll if they want to sort of have a bit
Precision.
of knowledge.
Yes,
Can
like
I-
a learning wrong?
Can I give Toshiro a dice of help in Vaesen? Does that exist in Vaesen?
I think it does.
I'm not sure.
I've assumed you can assist.
We're
So-
crossing the games here, crossing the streams.
Extra die?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
You can, and you don't even have to have the point in the skill.
It's not one of the ones where you need
Yeah.
to
Okay.
skill.
So I was kind of thinking I can help with my learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is, with all those dice, only one success.
The way of the dice.
Yeah, I failed.
You failed. What about you,
Yeah.
Taro?
Me too.
Got any knowledge?
Yeah, no, same.
All right. So Toshiro, you've only been, like, initially you were probably ignoring the cholera outbreak. It's not really part of what you normally practice. So it caught you a bit by surprise. You've become aware, though, that it is spreading through the country. And it did start in one of the big cities, but you're just not sure which one.
All right. Well, I share my insights.
So
Okay.
the lady always says, well, the thing is, I have never seen a creature like this before. So it is not one that I've seen. And she sort of gestures up and around at all of these books and scrolls that are, sort of spread through the library. I've never seen a creature like that before in any of these books, and gestures up. But you are welcome to do research if you want. But we have to find how the creature is spreading the disease.
So, this pamphlet of which you speak, Doctor, where did you see it? For someone has seen that creature before, apart from the good lady of Ōi, for they've drawn it. And
Unless
it
Lady
visited
Ōi
them in a
shared her.
dream, they may have seen it with the sight that we all share.
Maybe.
Yes, that is true. We should probably investigate there.
Did Lady Ōi share your picture? Did you share your picture at all with anybody else?
No, I drew it last night.
Yeah.
So this is fresh work.
And when
I mean, she
when
has
did you
been
have-
publishing her work for a long time. So, yes, it's quite possible she could have published it in the past, but not this one in particular.
And when did you first dream about this creature?
That's a good question. 4 weeks ago.
And does that coincide with the upturn of the cholera outbreak in these parts?
Oh, she's not a follower of modern news. She just knows about the cholera.
Okay.
But you can. I'll give you another role. So she will. Yeah. So hold on. Okay. Well, that's not going to move the needle. So you can have another role. You can use your learning to try and remember when the government started talking about the cholera outbreak.
Okay, I get 1 success on my learning roll.
Yes, it's about the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do we collectively know anything about this thing, or shall I spend some hours going through the books here to see what I can discover? Because I'm good at research.
It strikes me that if the lady says there is nothing in all of this library, she's probably right. I wonder whether our research should be at newspaper offices, government records, or whether we should seek the first place this was found or the most recent place it was found.
I agree.
There hasn't been any sightings of this creature other than in Lady Ōi's dreams?
There has obviously been a sighting, for somebody has drawn this picture, which bears a remarkable similarity to Lady Ōi's.
Unless they dreamt it as well.
Maybe we should find that artist and ask them. We do
finally
have a copy
you arrive
of
at the
this
right
pamphlet
conclusion.
that you two have seen.
Yeah, and trace it back to its artist. That might work. Lady Ōi, is there anything else that would help us locate where this might happen in your dreams? Because this is just a snapshot of your dream.
Okay. Well, not that I can remember. However, you could try and help her remember.
Okay. How would I do that?
So you can roll. So someone might wish to use inspiration to try and help her jog her memory and maybe get more out of her art.
Okay.
Kind of a radical use of inspiration, but it'll be fun.
Why not?
I'm quite good at inspiration.
How good is quite good?
6.
How's the entertainer looking?
I have 6 too. So
shall we do it together?
What talent? Actually,
I'll give you a dice of help.
Entertainer, what talent do you have?
Defensive.
Okay.
It's not exactly inspiring like that.
Yeah.
But I guess we could calmly talk her through the memories she has and maybe trigger something more, sort of.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to take a dice of help from me? Yeah,
absolutely.
Kiyomi.
Yeah, you can guide me through help out here.
Okay.
Just so, lady, if we just go to the sort of sit down quietly and sort of relax for a bit, to do some breathing and think back to the night where it happened. And I try to sort of relax her and try to trigger whatever caused this memory again.
Have I got anything in my medicine bag to help her relax?
Oh, you've got lots of things to help people relax in your medicine bag. So
Well, we don't want to knock her out completely because just want to get her into a sort of
some of them are
state
more
where
relaxing
she,
than others. That's
Question
mind
of
goes
exact
freely.
dosage.
It's all about-
I could
it's all
play
about
play a
precision.
tune on my son's shin.
Well, you
Yes.
can play something on the background and maybe help out too. That's right.
Okay, so have a dice for me then.
All right.
Is there a
Very good.
maximum 3 dice?
That would be
This is
Take a look.
becoming like a show.
8 dice
Yeah.
now with the help
Okay.
from 2
So
people.
you've sat her down in one of the chairs. Unusually, there are a few. And you're all very quiet, and you've got a little bit of the, shamisen, ding, ding, ding noise in the background, just gently playing, while a very calming voice is delivered by Kiyomi to now we're back in the point. All right, so it's very Freud. Would you care to roll your 8 dice now?
I'm rolling a die now, yes. And I have 1 success.
Okay. Would you like to push that?
Well, I think with 8 dice, you should have more than 1 success. So I think I might.
Statistically,
Yeah, well, statistically, it's about 1 actually. But
Do you
I
need-
think it's.
is there a distinct advantage to having more than 1 success in this game?
I can set challenges at different levels.
Greater than 1 success to succeed, I guess.
Yeah, but is there a bonus? I don't think there's a bonus system
So it's
for
stunned.
skills. Is there
No.
stunts? No. So if you have the 1 success, then
Yeah, maybe it's not 1 success though, because it's probably enough to get information at least. Usually. So maybe
it's just
save
that
my
pushing
condition.
costs a lot in this game.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
no willpower.
It does. It definitely
Well,
does.
maybe it's fine. Maybe we'll just. Obviously we triggered something, so
I think
see what happens.
it is very important for us to learn as much as we possibly can from her dreams, because that might be the key to unraveling this.
Mhm.
It might be worth pressing that question and pushing.
Pushing that question.
I'm gonna try to push once more. Actually, I'm gonna reroll this 7 extra dice and see if I get something more. And oh yeah, there's 2 more successes here.
Ooh.
Right.
That's up
Okay.
to 3 now. And I'm gonna take a condition. I'm probably a bit frustrated that it was hard to get her to relax in a relaxed state properly.
Okay, so with 3 successes, you've succeeded against a critical, a very challenging, challenge. Oh, it's terrible. Anyway, difficult challenge. So you're talking her through, and then for a moment, she just grabs you by the hands and sticks her, fingernails deep into your arms, which hurts you a lot. And then
Maybe it's
you,
frightened.
Yeah, maybe yes, that's right. Maybe it's frightened. It will be frightened in exactly 1 second. You see what she sees, just for a second.
Whoa.
So she
Sounds like
reaches
I was only
out.
playing the instrument.
She touches you, as it were, and you can see the creature, right? So it looks like this creature that you had up there, and then you've got. You feel really uncomfortable because you're actually sort of in the place of the creature, maybe like you're feeling a bit of what the creature's feeling. So you feel really uncomfortable, and you're juddering all the time, and it's really uncomfortable, like you're being bounced around all the time. And it's deeply uncomfortable, and the creature, you can hear the creature, and it's just angry, like it's just furious, constantly furious. The last thing you get, because you get 3 things, the last thing you get is a deep sense of confusion from the creature. It doesn't quite know how it got where it is.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. Huh.
And then she releases you, and you both fleeing away from each other, and you're sort of, on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
saw
think
it.
I think it should be frightened, not.
Yeah,
not
I'm checking it right on here. I've got it. I saw the creature. I felt the creature. It's scared and confused. Actually, it's not supposed to be here.
Where's here?
Weird. I mean, wherever it is, it's not supposed to be here. I just saw it in the sort of vision now. I don't know where, but wherever it is, it feels like it's in the wrong place, sorts. I think.
Does it know where it is?
Yeah, no. As far as I know, it's very confused about
So it's lost.
what's going to happen to it. It feels very lost. Yes.
Was it caged or boxed?
No, not the cage, journalist. Just lost.
Lost.
Yeah.
And forgive me, I'm only going to say this because I'm the sort of person that can say this. Did you feel its unfeasibly large testicles? I mean,
You? No.
No, you did. Actually,
why-
secretly you did, but you probably don't want to share that with everyone.
Why is that? Why is feeling its testicles relevant? I mean, come on. Let's just
well,
find
sorry,
out.
it's just that Thomas mentioned juddering, so I was trying to think, what was there a vibration going on?
I wouldn't have looked at it anyway, even if it was there. No. Anyway.
I think some of us are desperately trying to stop this scenario dissolving into a Viz episode. So it's like,
Yeah, no wheelbarrows here.
No.
So
Did
you get any sense of why it was confused or angry, other than the fact that it was lost?
I can ask the Daimo here. Did I feel any sensations of why it feels like this?
Okay. So the juddering is important. So it was being bounced around. So it wasn't jumping around. It was being bounced around.
Is it being transported or something?
On a
Yeah.
train.
On a train.
On a train, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. I explained this to the others.
We were being bounced around, weren't we?
Yeah. Someone's
Oh my god, there was
doing something
foreshadowing.
to it, basically.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I explained that someone's doing something to it. Maybe it is actually stuck somewhere and it's bouncing around against its will. Yeah. This is...
Now the cities where cholera was breaking out, are they all connected by train now? The ones
Yeah.
we know.
You bet.
Okay.
That's the Tokaido Express.
The Tokaido Express.
Yeah.
The slow one.
And oh no. Oh. Sorry, go back. There it is.
You've done your research.
This is actually in the expansion. This table is in the expansion. So here are all the roads on the Tokaido, from Kobe to Yokohama and obviously to Tokyo itself. They are all on the Tokaido, and they are all connected by rail.
So where are we right
In the
now?
middle, pretty much Nagoya.
We're in Nagoya,
Nagoya.
aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
A bit further to go.
And
towards Kobe.
on this railway,
Yeah.
now this is where, Doctor, I turn to you. Have you read any stories of the spread of cholera? Is it coming from one end of the railway to the other, or is it all along here? Have we heard reports in all these cities?
Yeah, I've had certainly reports in some of these cities. They are not in the right order, though, are they? They're just in distance order.
They are in distance order, but I mean the train travels that.
But Tokyo's not
line.
at one end, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Oh, it is actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So, it
if
starts
Tokyo-
at Tokyo, then it goes Yokohama, Ottawa,
And Kobe is the
and
furthest.
so forth, and so forth, and so on through to Kobe at the other end.
So
Yeah,
has it reached all the way to Kobe yet?
So I'm doing Mythic Japan, not historical Japan. So yes is the answer. Historical Japan, the answer is no. Mythic Japan, the answer is yes.
Is there a pattern? Can we tell where the epicenter of this is?
Where did it start?
I will give you the
learning
opportunity to make a learning roll, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Learning.
I've got 2 successes on my learning roll.
Okay. Yes. So the disease started in Kobe and has been traveling.
No.
Hold on, I'll get this right. East, northeast. However you want to draw that line.
So it started in Kobe. It went to Osaka, Kyoto, Otsu.
So it's now progressing along the line towards Tokyo.
Is that what we're seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here in this city, this is the most recent
Outbreak. Yep.
Oh.
I will
So
just, if I may, I'm just going to say hello, Brandon. Thank you for watching. Look how cool it is. Anyway, my co-author's watching, so
Oh, cool! Excellent.
Oh yeah, hello, Brandon.
I'm giving him a shout out because he's just sent me on Discord saying, "Wow, they worked that out really quickly." So he's obviously watching. And considering it's 1 a.m. in the morning for him. Anyway,
Heroic.
That's commitment.
That is commitment. All right. Sorry, you were going to say.
I did.
So I was just postulating that there is this spirit tied to, well, it seems that it's tied to the train, and each station it goes to, it then infects things in anger or frustration. But when the train goes on, its spirit is dragged along with the train. So is it attached to the train? Is it?
So this disease is not moving as quickly as the train moves.
No, that's correct.
So,
or it doesn't appear to be.
It's not. It surely is not physically attached to the train, or everybody in Tokyo will be there already. This train travels. What did you say? I think you said it once a day. Did you say?
So it takes about a day to get to Nagoya from each end, right? So,
and
so give or take.
You said there were very few choices of trains, so we all arrived at the same time because it's So it would spread surely if it was directly attached to the train. It would have spread right across the line.
Much more quickly, yeah.
But it's maybe symbolically attached to the train in some way.
Yeah.
Spiritual.
What can the doctor? Can you remember the stories of the outbreak? How long between each city getting affected?
Oh no, that for my drug-addled brain might be a bit difficult. Can I remember?
I've got quite good learning. Can I fish it out of my memory?
Likewise.
By all means.
I'm not saying that learning.
Successes.
I got 1 learning success.
Sorry, how many did you get, Ryu?
I got 2.
You got 2. Okay. Okay. Give or take, and it's certainly not precise, but the first major outbreak occurred about 4 weeks ago, and at Kobe, and you are now, give or take, 6 cities in. So it's taking somewhere in the order of about 5-day intervals.
150 miles.
Oh yeah.
Over the spread.
And do we know how far it has spread? I mean, is it past Nagoya or has it?
Yes. So the major outbreak occurs in the city, but it certainly then spreads more. Well, it spreads to the region around the major city.
But Okazaki is at the moment still uninfected.
As far as you're aware, but it could be infected. I mean,
although Nagoya was infected a few days ago, so maybe Okazaki is already experiencing the first bit.
Yeah.
If we don't stop it before it goes to Tokyo, it will strike at the center of this country.
It's going to be a disaster.
Even the emperor might get it.
Indeed, we need to. We need to solve this not just for the people in Tokyo, though, also for the people here.
Yes.
Yes, surely.
Yes.
So should we investigate the train in some sense?
Yeah.
Let us see whether we can find something.
Is there some? I mean, presumably the trains carry, or the tracks carry some level of freight or something as well. Is there something that's being exported from Kobe that this is going to be, this spirit, whatever it is going to be trapped within that?
Okay, so as the note says there, Kobe is a foreign treaty is a foreign treaty port. So it's a major trade hub, right? So a lot of European and, for that matter, Chinese goods are imported through Kobe and then disseminated through the country. So it's a very heavy trade port.
Foreign trade has always poisoned this country.
Oh, absolutely.
Hasn't it, Azza?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I would suggest that there might be different views on that matter. Progress is important, and being less insular
Progress
as
is
a
everything.
nation.
But you should not give up what made us great.
Being insular is not going to see this great country go where it needs to in the future. So we must embrace these new ideas rather than be shackled to the past.
Exactly.
No, I kind of like the past too. I mean,
let's not throw away the past, but let's not be shackled by it. We can have both.
yeah.
There's too much throwing away going on.
Can we have both without the cholera? Yeah.
So one question:
If we
are
succeed,
you?
yes, we can have it without cholera. It's up to
So
us.
are you? Oops, sorry.
Let's do it.
Are you intending to? I have no chance. We have no chance of even coming close to ending this module in this
Always
session.
another session.
Yeah, there's always another. Maybe there's another two. I'm feeling
very
like
common,
one
though, I mean,
additional
of
session
course.
won't be enough. That's certainly the way I'm feeling right this second.
Well, we did warn you, Thomas.
Yes,
Excellent.
yes,
People
no,
role play.
I walked into it with my eyes wide open. The one question I have for you is, okay, so do you intend to do any research? Because something, and I'm just going to give it up so that you know. So whilst this specific plague spirit is news, there are a lot of plague spirits in yokai mythology, right? So, for instance, there's a smallpox plague spirit that's quite famous. So there's a lot of spirits associated with disease.
And how do we find them?
So research is what I do. That is my key thing. That's what I'm very good at. So yes, I think the answer is definitely yes. Should I research here in the stuff we've got here for all of that?
Well, this is surely the best library for that sort of stuff, isn't it?
It might be, but it's a bit smelly. I guess you can do it, Asa.
I'm happy. I'm content to do that.
Well,
I love the musty smell of a library. It's wonderful.
I might know something already from my traditional medicine background.
And there may be some research, Madame Aki, that is the research of the mouth, speaking to people in this city, finding out what people have experienced before falling prey to the disease.
Yeah, that kind of research is much more up my alley. Yeah,
and in fresher air, I have to say as well.
Yes, please.
Why don't you guys do that? I'll stay and research the library. And then
please do that. You stay
Now,
with
I
the smelly
will
books.
just mention, is anyone going to go and, because you did flag an interest in doing it earlier, so I'll just remind you in case anyone's going to do
station.
The station itself,
Yes.
or talking to the officials, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think there are two other avenues. One is the station. One was trying to find the source of the other picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely would like to go to the station.
Okay.
Well, shall we start? Shall we leave the merchant here and to do his
The academic. Yeah. just because Ryu, you have a unreasonable level of resentment and lack of self-respect because of your past. You don't need to unload that on all of us all the time. I would ask you to be more honourable than that.
Yes.
I will call upon your honour if you have any.
Let us leave him here anyway in silence to research rather than disturbing him with our inane chatter, and go to the library. Go to the station.
And
Yeah.
but before we leave, Tara wants a word with the lady, if she pleases. And I want to ask her about the local spirits or Meiji Kitsune that I saw, or potential.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'd love to listen in on that, if I may.
I couldn't help but notice arriving here this what I expect to be a kitsune, a megitsune, female kitsune. Is this an individual that is known to you, or?
Okay. Yes. The simple answer is yes. She has been here as long as any of us have been here. She was here at the beginning, and no doubt will be here at the end.
And is she a benign spirit, or is she? Does she have malevolence?
No. If she was malevolent, either we or she would be long gone. I know she lives here. She has an interest in what we do. We don't know why particularly. She keeps her own counsel. She doesn't tend to talk to us. But every now and then, particularly new members of the Daisan No Me are blessed with a sight of her. But she does tend only to appear at points of great crisis, or at least we've only seen her at points of great crisis. It's possible in the past she was more common, more frequent, but this
And
is
you
the
have
case.
seen her, so that indicates
Time of great crisis.
Katsushika Ōi, that this is a time of great crisis. Yeah.
Lady Ōi, have you drawn, or could you draw us an amabi?
A mappy, a map.
Amabi. An amabi as prospective, protective yokai.
Yes, yeah.
Because in times of great infections,
yes,
it helps to draw and share these pictures.
It does. I didn't realize you knew that, Frank. Anyway, okay.
The dangers of having intelligent and informed players, Thomas.
That's right. It's like, okay. I was gonna get Dave to research that. Anyway.
So that's one success you don't need to roll now, Dave.
Stealing your thunder, sorry.
She will draw you pictures of a protective spirit. But it does actually, maybe a better way to put it is the question triggers a thought, Dave. Matsumushi. Perhaps your research should go beyond those creatures that cause plagues and include creatures that stop plagues.
Okay.
Because there are a group of yokai that stop plagues as well.
That makes excellent sense. Yes, overhearing your conversation, Toshiro, I'm inspired now to broaden my research into those spirits that might defend against plagues, as well as those that might cause them.
That is one of the things I do in traditional medicine. So I can help you, maybe.
Yes.
Sounds good. Did you want me to roll for that now, Thomas?
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. That is funny. By all means, please do.
Okay, with an extra die from Toshiro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a talent, which is knowledge is reassuring, which means I can push learning rolls without taking a condition. So I'm going to do that, although I've already got 3 successes, and I gain a 4th. So I got 4 successes.
Not bad.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I told you I'm good at research. I'm not good at anything else, but I'm good at research.
So about what year is it? 72, 50? 50? No, 60. 60. Okay, so about 60 years ago, you find a record in the books.
Yeah.
There was a creature that came onto the shore, and you even have a picture of it. And I unfortunately don't. I did have a traditional picture, but I didn't use it because it was pretty hard to read. But funny story, Frank pretty much just threw that picture up, so that's hilarious.
On this stuff, yeah.
Anyway, no, it's fine. It's just funny. It's funny. Let me get to it. Okay. So it's known as the Ginger Hime. And basically it's a woman's head on a sea serpent's body. It came ashore around the region of Kobe about 60 years ago and gave a prophecy at that time. And that prophecy was as follows: there will be decades of famine and there will be decades of, feast, but a great new disease will rise from the west to the east, and you must take my image as a source of protection.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. 4 successes will pay a lot.
Can we draw her image?
Yes, there's a drawing of her image. It's not as modern as that, but there is a drawing of her image.
That is quite striking. Would make a good tattoo.
So I think, I will take that image then, obviously very respectfully and in the right equipment to preserve it properly in our travels.
Lady Ōi might be able to make a couple more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather
Being an
than rip it
artist.
out of the library, because then the next person looking for it won't find it.
Well, I'll bring it back, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Okay, well, she will.
Haven't you gone by now, Raya? I thought you'd buggered off.
No,
Yes, actually, that's a good point. So you're doing this research. Now, so where are the rest of you heading off again? So
did the doctor in the end
Station.
stay with the academic?
Well, if it helps with the research, I'll stay with the academic.
I think I'm going to rule that that's a yes to that question. Yeah, I think that's legit. So
is it Aki and Ishikawa and I that go down to the station?
Yeah, maybe we'll take a rickshaw down to the station.
Yeah.
2-seater.
Yeah,
I was
with
I was
Ryan running
thinking
behind
maybe
it again, of course.
Yeah.
sorry, what was that? What was that, Taro?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe to try to locate and find the local spirit, yokai, and try to talk to her.
Okay, so you're going to look for the
kitsune.
kitsune.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, right. So maybe
Okay, so
maybe Aki and I go down.
Yeah, let's go
station.
down, Rio.
Okay, and leave.
Taro's hunting up the kitsune.
I was doing something in the gardens.
So I will just. Anyway, no, it's fine. Okay.
So which do you want to do first, Thomas?
I think we will do the. Actually, we'll do the kitsune first. So Taro, you're going to hunt around the giant trees. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I will need you to make a vigilance roll for me, please, or an investigation roll.
Yeah, it will be a vigilance. It's not great. But there is one success.
Okay. Unfortunately, you spend a fruitless afternoon, unless you want to push. But you are about to spend a fruitless afternoon hunting for the kitsune.
Yeah.
All right.
Pushing.
Okay, so you're
He is
climbing up.
here, and she needs it. Yeah, but
So you're
taking it
climbing
really
up in the
slowly,
tree?
not intruding or.
Okay.
Climb up in the tree,
All right.
fall out of the tree, get battered condition.
Yes, another success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 successes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you climb up into the tree, and you're sort of looking around, and then above you, probably about 4 or 5 branches above you, so quite, probably about 3 or 4 meters above your head, you can see a fox sort of standing on a branch, just minding its own business, looking at you, its tail hanging over the edge of the branch, so it's got a tail. On closer examination, its fur color is not it's not red. Actually, there's quite a lot of white in its fur color. Now you can make either a learning or a inspiration roll. And tell me which one you're making.
Roll.
Inspiration. Okay. All right.
Inspiration.
Good. Yeah.
And so old venerable fox. I understand you show yourself in times of need and great danger, and I think we are at that time. And I would just humbly request that you share any knowledge you have in this threat that's now plaguing our country. And that's 1 success. We want to push that. No, wait. Damn, I had to roll because I have to take a mental condition before I do that. I was angry with myself. So let's roll that again. 2 successes.
Okay. So the fox, who is sort of whitish red, not perfectly white, but certainly more white than red. So the first thing you get a sense of is this is not your everyday kitsune, in the sense that it has a feeling about it of peace, right? So kitsune are traditionally trickster kind of yokai, right? Like they like to play tricks on people. Sometimes they're very cruel tricks, sometimes less cruel, but they tend to be quite neutral, for want of better language, in their relationships with humans, tending towards nasty. So this kitsune does not give you that sense, and you've sort of done this great spiel to the kitsune. It gives you this wicked smile, which is odd to watch for a fox. It's got that sort of laughing smile that foxes have, and it springs down upon you, knocking you out of the tree. You take the condition you've taken. When you hit the ground, you have just a moment of insight. Something occurs to you that you hadn't thought about previously. So when there's an assumption that all yokai are the same age, so all yokai are eternal, right? So, but maybe they aren't. Maybe there are new yokai and old yokai. And that's like your head is kind of banged against the ground and you have this kind of jarring thought thrown into your head. And then the fox bounces back off into the trees and disappears.
That's the way to learn, clearly. Fall out of a tree.
Yeah.
That's right. What you
Yes.
needed was a direct cognitive intervention. Made famous by the goodies, but absolutely applicable in this scenario. Okay, so that's what happens to you. Now, Kiyomi and... Hold on, who else was going down? Oh, Ryu. That's right. So you make your way to the train station.
Yeah, I imagine it's hard to get rickshaws up here at the castle, so we're going to have to walk down?
Yes, that is a correct assumption. It is hard to get. You can summon one. You can send a runner to go and get a rickshaw.
But I'd be the runner, so I'd walk down.
People do that all the time.
I will
People
offer that
send...
to Aki, of course. If you'd prefer me to run down and get a rickshaw.
Yeah, we can walk. We can walk down. I mean, it's downhill now. It's pretty pleasant stroll.
And you're not so weighed down with luggage either.
No, so, it's not here now. So let's go. You don't have to carry it right now. Let's just walk down to the station and see what we can find. So,
okay.
As we saunter down, I will say, kind of delicately, I'm going to probe you a little bit. As to what your status in life is. And I say, I'm not necessarily quite as poor as I make out.
Oh, so you say?
I find it easier, sometimes being dressed as I am, as poor as I am, it makes it more difficult to talk to higher status people, but talking to people like the rickshaw driver and things like that, it does me favors to look as though I am a low status as well.
Oh, so you say, Ryu. So what do you do in life in general?
Now, actually, of course, probably as I'm an actual undercover cop, I don't say I'm a policeman generally. So
well, you can tell me.
Rule, no.
I find things for people. I lie.
Fine. Yeah, you're a thing finder. Huh. Fascinating.
Yes.
Sort of like detective or something, no?
Personal shopper.
Finder of lost things.
Sorry, what year were we at? Actually, I can't remember.
1873.
1873. So,
The fifth year of the reign of the Meiji Emperor.
Yes, sort of an investigator, I say.
Investigator. Well, those skills should be very useful here, Ryu. It's good to have you here.
Indeed, but as I say, if you don't want to be accompanied by someone as low status as I can smarten myself up a little bit. I wouldn't want to embarrass you in any way.
Just out of character, what is what status? I mean, I'm status 2. That's not super high either, actually.
Oh no, it isn't actually. No.
We're probably. So I'm probably just fine with however you look right now.
Well, maybe to warn you then. Now that I've that I may transform in certain situations into a higher status.
Oh, and, like a secret identity, sort of, yeah.
And possibly, yes.
Possibly.
It depends who we meet. It depends who we meet, but I
find very exciting.
People of our class can find out a lot more than the more academic merchants that we may know.
Yeah, merchants. Who needs them?
Who needs them?
Everybody.
Yeah, as long as they've got money to pay, of course.
Yeah.
Now, have we got to the station yet?
Yes. So you've arrived at the station. Picture of the station. Yeah, that's the picture of the station. That's right. Give me 1 second. Yep, there it is. An actual picture from 1895 of a train station. Granted, not in Nagoya, but it'll do. So yes, you are at the train station.
So this is a quite sort of European style of building. I'm noticing.
It is.
Out of
Yes,
interest.
modern buildings, looking modern.
Oh,
Yep, it's all the rage.
This modern architecture is kind of odd, I think. Not a big fan.
No. And I'm just suddenly thinking, is that part of the problem?
Well, and remember, I don't know if your characters know. Anyway, if your characters don't know, then it won't change things too much, I don't think. All the trains, all the railroads are actually built by Western engineers employed by the Japanese government.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Except there's an inventor from Japan who builds his own steam engines, but the railway lines themselves. Matter of fact, the guy who does it, I think he goes on to be Toshiba. I think he founds Toshiba in the end. Anyway, I was reading about it today. I just can't remember. So the railway lines themselves are all built by British and German and French engineers at this point. So they're all being laid out. So they're building the buildings they know as part of that process.
I'm trying not to meta text here, but I can't help myself. So I'm just going to say, does sewage work differently in these buildings compared to the way that we traditionally deal with sewage?
Absolutely.
Oh. Maybe that's
Yeah.
something.
I will. I feel that that's not, that I'm not a plumber, so I shouldn't particularly be thinking about that one. I'm going to start. I'm going to look for my rickshaw driver. Indeed.
Yes.
I'm sure he frequents the station here.
He does. Yes.
and,
at the right times.
And is he in the rickshaw rank right now, or can I?
Yes. Why not? Yep.
If there's another one, I could ask after his name.
Sure.
I will say, you've been here for some time, and it's always rickshaw drivers are so connected with everybody. They speak to high and low. Can you tell me about this terrible new disease that has struck the city?
Anyway,
where did it start here at the station, or did it start elsewhere in the city?
He looks horrified when you say that, because of course, in a sort of roundabout way, you're almost, he's a rickshaw driver at the station taking people into the city. So you might be
blaming him for the spread of the disease,
or deeply concerned that he might have it, one way or the other. So, what do you mean? What do you mean? Did it start here? It was bought by the winds. Everyone knows that the winds bought the cholera. That's how it comes about. I mean, I've heard rumors of other answers to this question, but we all know the truth, right? It's the Kami Itachi carrying it on the wind.
And I describe instead the spirit that we have been shown, and I said it feels to me more like a plague spirit. The wind kami are friends to all Japanese. They wouldn't poison us in this way. Have you heard?
Strangely, you clearly don't know the wind spirits I know. So these aren't. So what did you expect the elves were going to do? Anyway, it bit me. So it could, of course, it could be a plague spirit. But I've heard stories of these new, of this thing you're talking about. But the chief minister has written this book, and everyone's talking about this book. It's meant to tell us how to fight the cholera. But I don't believe it, and I've been going to the shrine and praying against the spirits.
And that has protected you so far, I can see. For you are
Yes.
hale and hearty, and
Indeed.
it was it was quite a hard run up the hill after you. So you are a strong. You have a strong constitution.
Yes. Yes.
And
But it
then
wasn't. I mean, it wasn't any. It wasn't. It couldn't have come from here because I mean, I would have. Maybe I would have gotten sick. I mean, I prayed to the spirits every day that my livelihood would be protected, and it has been. So it can't be from here. And he's emphatic that there's no way the train station could be involved in spreading.
If
this
it was
disease.
not from here, where do you think? If it was from the Wind Kami, do you think it started on? Is this a coastal city? Actually, I'm not sure. Yes,
Nagoya is not coastal.
Oh, not. All right.
No.
Okay. It's not a coastal. Which part of Nagoya do you think it entered the city? For I have heard from the west it has come that all the cities along the railway line to the west have been infected, but not those from the east.
No, it's not coastal.
Have I got those
Anyway,
wrong
it
way
doesn't
around?
Now I feel like I have to go and just double check that Nagoya is not coastal, but I'm sure it's not. Anyway, for now, the GM has deemed it is not coastal.
It's low tide.
That's right. I know it's
The sea is
connected by river to the ocean, but I don't think it's directly connected to the ocean. Anyway, I'll check later. So the it's come from all these. It's come via the wind spirits, and thanks, Brandon. Okay, it is coastal. So it is.
At the end of a bit of the end of a lock, it looks like. I was just looking it up. So
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
So
it's
just the harbor bay.
it's connected by a river system, but it's obviously very close to anyway, it's coastal. It's coastal. So but I mean, he's emphatic, right? So basically, he's decided that there are these wind spirits. They come in on the wind, and they have these sickle claws that scrape and scratch you, and that's how the disease is spreading clearly. And it's clearly spreading amongst the poor people at the edge of the town. That's where it must be, spreading from all these people who've come in from the rural regions, bringing disease and, all their uncleanliness with them when they come into the city. That's the answer. Just ask him.
So I look to my companion Aki, and I say, "Do you want to walk to these poorer parts and see the conditions there?"
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Maybe yes.
And which is the? I would not wish to force you to take us there, but can you at least point us in a direction from here? With this new architecture and this European style, I get very confused about where the roads around here point.
I will take you. It'll only cost you like a couple of coin. Slow day at the train station.
Easy.
I wouldn't want to put you in any danger of catching the infection in the poor part of the city.
Oh no, I won't go all the way. I'll take you part of the way there, and then I'll drop you off, and you can walk the rest of it. Yeah.
And part of the way we can do.
Yeah.
I'll give him the relevant coin.
Okay. We should be doing coin, but anyway, it'll matter if we get to bribery. Okay. So you both bundle into the rickshaw, and he takes you off, heading towards the poorer end of town where the slums have started to pop up left, right, and center. You're going past.
Being observant of the route here, watching the route. If our suspicions that it comes from the railway are true, I'm looking for what links the railway to this poorer part of town, where most people are in.
A lot. So remember, the railway is it's not actually primarily for passengers. I mean, it obviously does passenger work, but it's actually the major trade route, right? And so places like Nagoya are standing up the silk factories and other things that are being exported out of the country. So there's quite a lot of trade going backwards and forwards to the rail stations, portage, as it were, of goods heading from this sort of industrial section of town to the railway station and then being taken. So there's two-way traffic in effect, because there's cargo handling coming back into this industrial section of town as well. So people are bringing raw materials here, and then just to make the point, the factories themselves are quite. I mean, they're early 18th century style factories. So the silk factories in particular are awful. I think that's
So
the
we're
legitimate word.
we're talking dark satanic mills.
We are absolutely 100% on dark satanic mills. Less steam power, more people, but that doesn't make it better. And matter of fact, in many ways, that makes it worse. So women and children are the primary laborers in these centers. So there's lots of noise and smells of people. And as you head towards this part of town, the smell's quite overwhelming. I mean, this is a poor, pre sort of industrial, the poor law kind of part of the world, pre-industrial poor laws. So, yeah. So yep.
Now, again, I don't want to meta knowledge here, but I'm smelling a lot of urine here in the dyeing process of the silk and stuff like that.
Yep, that's correct.
And for that reason, this is getting terribly toilet focused. But yeah,
resist it, Matt. Resist it. You haven't got to go down the toilet, mate. It's okay.
Well, except the ritual driver did remind me of the minister's book about cleanliness and things like that. So I'm kind of looking at here in the dyeing district. I expect that there are urine collection points at least, and other waste is dealt with. In other ways.
Absolutely. So this is the period where the sanitation rule starts to change. But don't forget, Japan up until this point has used human waste as a primary form of fertilizer. So it's quite common to collect it. It's not unusual. There's no particular shame about it either. So this isn't a culture that sort of sees that as a particularly terrible or awful thing. I mean, obviously, ETA do the collecting. I mean, that's a given. But
Even
it's
now.
not even. Well, no, of course not. I mean, those
There's no
people
such
who
thing
are
as ETA
collecting
now.
it. Yeah, I mean, we've freed ourselves from this caste system. Sure, the people who are doing the job now probably did it in the past, or were the children of the people who did it in the past, but it's a completely different world.
But they do it now because it is a unique skill they have. And
Exactly, and they're particularly skilled at it. So there's a collection, there's a bunch of collection points. There's, this is a heavy industry area, so there's a lot of dyeing going on. There's a definite smell. And there's a lot of stuff being ported backwards and forwards. So, yeah, it meets all your sort of, is this a thoroughfare that goes straight to the railway kind of
yes,
tests.
it is. Yeah.
It does. So, you arrive at the edge of town, and I think we might have to call it there because I'm just conscious that we're right on. We're right on 1 minute too.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there anything that anybody wants to do in that last that they might forget for the next session?
Well, do you want a second session? No, I was kidding.
Yes.
And a third.
Yeah, very much, yeah.
yes.
I thought I'd ask. It's polite to ask. So any questions? Anything you want to sort of be as the placeholder before the next section?
No.
I think this probably works. It works quite well as a pause point, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shall we meet again in 2 weeks?
Indeed. 2 weeks. Hold on. Let me think. Yes, that would be perfect.
I'm gonna check my calendar. I think that would be about right.
Yeah.
Should be okay for me.
Yeah,
I
2
think.
weeks is great.
Yeah, I'm traveling.
21st.
Yes, I'm traveling next week. I'm traveling.
Driving
back from
back
from a rural town to here, which is about a 7.5 hour drive. So.
And it's Mothering Sunday here in the UK.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yes.
Okay.
Mother's Day.
We're still in lockdown though at that point.
We are still, we're not going to be visiting our mothers, but
conscious of them all the
Skyping our
same.
mothers. Your mother can watch this.
All right. So fortnight from today, same bat time, same bat channel.
Sounds good.
Is that all right? Cool. Did we
Excellent.
want to stop the stream and just have a quick chat and then?
so
wrap it
thank
up?
you very much to all our listeners.
Yeah, thanks for
As
watching.
Matt said, Same tiger wolf testicle monster time. Same
Same tiger wolf
testicle.
festival.
Bye.